Morning.
Morning.
Last time we were here for 12 long hours.
What day?
Yeah. Silver Fox was being sandblasted and having her first epoxy primer added.
Today we've got an update for you on the engine bay and the batteries that have been fitted. Hello from the engine bay of Narrowboat Silver Fox. It's kind of bare, we've got no engine in it at the moment, but you can see that all the paintwork has been done, the primer, the epoxy, and then the primer coats, and then we've got the silver coat, which is kind of the silver before the lacquer that's going to be the main colour outside, and then we've got the non-slip coating in here as well. And on this side we've got the batteries, which I'm going to show you in a second. Right down here, this is where the, well, my feet, this is where the engine will sit. We've got the weed hatch just over here. It's probably the cleanest you're ever going to see the weed hatch. We've got all sorts of valves and taps and things just waiting to be connected. The pipe down towards the diesel tank and everything is back there. We're just awaiting some connections, which is why the engine going in has been delayed. It's only by a few days, nothing to do with the lads or the build here, it's just a few parts. Apparently the connection to that hose there is what we're waiting for. So on this starboard side, the right hand side, we've got 4 of the batteries. These are Vetus 12 volt 165 amp hour batteries. Powerful. We've got 6 of those, 4 on this side, and then we've got 2 on the port side, just hidden under there, all wired up and ready. That gives us a total of 990 amp hours, which is going to be obviously topped up by the solar, which we'll go into in another vlog. We've got a Bosch 110 amp hour battery there, that's for starting the engine. We've also got one at the front as well, at the bow, which is going to be for the bow thruster. And all these are marine specific batteries, so I'm actually pretty impressed with the power that we've got going on in Narrowboat Silver Fox. Fast forward a couple of days and we've got some big changes in the engine bay ready for it to be installed. Let me show you around. I'm going to walk you through everything that's changed since we last showed you. You can see these 2 pipes just coming through the starboard side from the fuel tank. The one on the right hand side that comes down here, this red valve, this is the fuel inlet. So the fuel diesel comes in through there, down through this primary filter, and then it'll go down into the engine, into a secondary filter, and then through into the injectors and get the engine going. The pipe on the other side, on the left hand side, is the fuel return. So any fuel that doesn't get used will come back up there through that isolator and back into the diesel tank on that side. Alright, if we just move right a little bit, you can see the weed hatch there, and this pipe that comes out of it goes down towards the prop shaft. Now water will come in down there to keep that mechanism nice and cool. Any water that's not used, wastewater, will come back up and back out through the weed hatch into the canal. Just go up and right a little bit. Now that's the fuel inlet with the isolator for the Eberspacher heating, and then just a little bit further down we've got the fuel drain isolator. So if you get water in your fuel tank, or if you just want to drain the tank, that's the isolator that we're going to be using, and the tap for there. Just come back a little bit, you can see this big thick black pipe that goes out of the boat. That is the bilge pump. If we follow that right back down into the bottom, you can see the bilge pump just down under the prop shaft there, ready to be wired up. And then we've got this big kind of silver hose there. Behind that piece of steel is the skin tank for the coolant for the engine. So the engine coolant will come out from there into the engine, and then it drains out back into the tank just at that tap down at the bottom. Coming back up, we've got all the Eberspacher, we've got the mechanism for that there, that's ready to be wired in. And then next to that, in these 2 black pipes coming down, that's where we've got the controllers for the bow thruster and also the engine starting system through there. Towards the back of the engine bay, you can see these 2 pipes. That's the inlet and outlet for the hot water that will run through the engine into the water heater, and that will heat our water for the boat. You can see the batteries all wired up now, just 2 on the port side, and then we've got the other 4 on the starboard side. They're all wired and ready to go. Here is the heart of Narrowboat Silver Fox. She's a Vetus M-Line 42 horsepower engine, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a walkthrough before we put her in the engine bay. So this is the twin alternator. There's 2 of them, as in twin. This one on the right hand side, this charges the starter battery for the engine. It's a 95 amp alternator. On this side, this charges the leisure batteries, so we've got 6 165 amp hour Vetus batteries. Remember me showing you earlier on? This alternator charges those. That's a 95 amp alternator too. Got the engine mounting feet just at the bottom on this side. As we come round, you can see this kind of coolant pipe. This has got 2 outlets. This is the out and return for the gearbox coolant. This is the gearbox on this side. It's a PRM 150 gearbox. You can see where the coolant comes in and then back out on that side. Remember me showing you that primary fuel filter just in the engine bay? This is the secondary one. This is a secondary diesel fuel filter, so it comes through there before going down to the injectors. On this side, we've got the fuel pump, that silver thing there, and then we've got the air filter at the top with this black thing coming down here. We've got the oil filter just there, and then this with the tap is where we drain the oil off. We just pump the oil out through this tap here. That's nicely secured on there. Here we've got some relays for the engine, more engine feet, and then we're back to the alternators. On the top we've got the coolant filler cap for the engine. We're not going to be using this one. We've got a header tank attached to the bulkhead behind the engine, so if we need to top it up or if we want to just see where the level's at, we can look there. And then just in front of that we've got the oil filler cap. That's where we're going to fill the oil when we change it. The exciting bit is over then, and the Vetus engine is now sat in the engine bay on Narrowboat Silver Fox. Ryan very professionally lowered it in. You can just see the black feet that it's attached to. Each of these 4 feet has got 4 bolts attaching it to the boat steelwork. And then there's the engines lowered in, the mounts are attached to those feet. There's 2 bolts on each foot and then a centre bolt running right through the centre into the boat itself. So like 7 bolts times 4 just attaching the engine. And as well as that, he's got to make sure that everything's lined up with the prop shaft so that everything's nice and straight. Now it's time to attach all the hoses. So Ryan's already attached the fuel inlet. You can see that coming from the primary filter just on the right hand side into the engine. Now he's working on putting the fuel return pipe in. This beastly stuff is what we're using for the water hoses on the boat. So this is where the coolant comes through, it cools the gearbox, and it also goes into the heat exchange on the engine. It's 32mm Vetus hose. It's got like this wire, this steel wire running through it as well. I like playing with it, I could do with some of this. First are the 2 big hoses going in, then the first one is going to the, it's into a diverter which goes into the gearbox. Next up, it's coming from the skin tank where all the engine coolant water is kept, and it attaches to the heat exchanger on the engine. Hoses attached then. Next one is the electrical connections, and these are going from the engine onto the starter battery. Next we've got the connections from where we turn the key to start the engine, and those electrical connections at the engine. Next up is the connection from the engine alternator through to the leisure batteries. So this is the cable that sends power from the engine and charges the 665 amp hour batteries that we've got. And completed one Vetus 42 engine, all installed. And final step then, before we switch the engine on, oh looking forward to this, is just putting some coolant in the system. That's the pink stuff in the header tank. Right, so engine is installed, all the cables and hoses, everything all connected up. We've got some diesel and some coolant in the system. I'm nervous. Are you nervous?
No.
No. So we're going to try and start it up for the first time. Are you ready then? All right. So on the count of three. 3, 2, 1. Hey! Well, it's been another long day.
Yes.
We've been here since, what, about 10:30?
Yeah.
And it's what now?
I'm going to watch on.
It's about 4:30. So not as long as last time, but we've got the engine in, so the heart of Silver Fox is in. And it didn't take as long as I thought.
No, it was... He's good, he's Ryan, isn't
A
he?
few swear words.
From Ryan.
And little bits leaking every now and then, but there's nothing, it was all good. And she started first time, which is a good sign. Next time, she's going to get 5 or 6 licks of paint. So join us for that. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for us. If you've got any questions or comments, maybe some ideas or things that you want to know about the boat build so far, just leave it in the comments down below. And we'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye-bye.
I don't know what to say.
Hello, welcome to the Jesus. He's only just started smiling. It's nerves.
I've got any bogies. I ain't got any bogies, have I? Vetus M42. Yeah. I'm glad I stopped then. Right, stop that and delete it. So the other side. Stop laughing, you little get.
What are you waiting for?
I thought I could hear them about to come back down again.
Whilst she's not ready.
Here she is. Oh God. Yeah. Getting annoyed. What?
Oh, he gets way stressed, more stressed than this.
E-bike up.
Yeah. Don't stand there looking at us.
Alright.